Hey everyone, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
All right, we're on. Yeah, we're good.
Are we live on this thing?
We're live everywhere. Everywhere in the world, we are live.
Oh, wow. Hi everyone, it's Alyea.
And Joe.
Wait, we didn't even do a mic check or anything.
No, I did all that before.
Oh, okay.
It's all good.
Phew. Hi everyone. Welcome back. We have been gone for like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
I believe. What's all this here?
Got a lot going on, I'm sure. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's throwing me off. It's not the regular.
Is it?
Usually if a comment pops up, we can see the
Is
comments.
this what we do?
No, we usually can see comments on the side. So if someone from Facebook wants to, or from the thing.
Right, that's what that is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you have all this stuff here.
Gotcha. All
Right.
right. There you go.
Wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. Busy guy. Got a lot of things going on.
We've been gone for about like 3 weeks. Just busy, really. Just busy. I can't tell you busy with what, because it all seems like a blur. but we've been busy.
Apparently. You know what it is? It's been scheduling with all this. It's the timing. Daughter is going to school 3 days a week now, and working, and literally we only have the weekends, but then we got to go do grocery shopping and do all this other stuff, and then hang out with our daughter, and go to birthday parties, all this other shit. So
Are you sure we're live? It says go live right there.
oh, you're right, I didn't go live there.
Told you.
Fuck, that's all right.
Now
We're
we're
good.
live, actually. See, I had a feeling.
Now we're live.
A feeling.
Now we're live everywhere.
Now we're live everywhere. This guy. Yeah, just lots of stuff. Conflicts with scheduling, and then just like, I don't know if this happens to anyone, but like grocery shopping is really a pain in the ass and really takes up a whole half a day. Like, it's not just, like an hour. No, it's like a whole half a day, I feel
wouldn't
like.
say that.
But like, I feel like the reason why it's a whole half a day, I feel like, because it's this. It's between, one, getting our daughter ready to go anywhere. So that's the first move, okay? Having her go to the potty, blah, 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 blah. Now, putting her in the car seat.
Half a day.
Now we're driving all the way to the only Whole Foods that's, I guess, in Rhode Island, which is about, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, since everything's like 10 to 15 minutes away?
Like 15 minutes.
15 minutes
Not
away.
bad.
Then we got to do that. Then we got to take her out the car seat, get out the car.
Oh man, you're really dragging
go
this
into-
on now.
Because
This
each
is half
step,
day shit.
each step is critical. Each step contributes to the half a day time span of this grocery shopping.
About
Then
a couple hours.
Then we get into the grocery store, right? You go this way, I go this way. I have our daughter, she wants to get in the cart, she wants to get out of the cart.
gotta
Her
go
legs
potty.
are hurting. Her hand is hurt. I don't know whoever has kids who's listening to this, but I really need someone to hopefully let us know if your child ever did or does this making up symptoms, because I actually really want to know, because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what if these things do hurt her and we're just like dismissing her? Like, what if she has some kind of like, I don't know, illness or something? Like, everything hurts her, apparently. It's either her hand, her arm, her leg,
Her stomach.
her stomach. Now, her stomach,
hard
I
one,
think
yeah.
is true.
Sometimes.
Because I think because of us, she has stomach stuff. So that one I believe. But between the hand, the leg, the arm, I don't know what to believe. And it's always something. Every day. I'm not even exaggerating.
I think she's just still going down the list of things. She's basically become this complainer.
But is this an all kids thing, or is hypochondria / obsessive compulsive stuff showing up in our child extremely early?
Yeah, I don't know.
considering she's 2.5. So I have no idea. But so between all that stuff, right? Then between you constantly, me thinking that I chose a really good food option, and then you come and read every single thing on it, and then it's like, not the right food option. Then you throw it away. Then I failed. Because then this is the process. I failed. In my mind, I failed because I chose a food option that in my mind, after reading and seeing
What'd you get the other day?
was a really good option.
You get that cereal.
I got this cereal the other day. It's a keto-friendly cereal, no sugar, okay? Fucking 15 grams of protein.
Sounds good.
Like all this stuff, I was like, winner, sold. Joe's gonna love it. It'll be like one of our daughter's snacks. I was so proud of myself. And then I'm on the couch watching this documentary. I hear him in the kitchen. Oh, God, can't even eat this. You know we can't eat this cereal, right? Why? Well, it's got milk, it's got whey, it's got soy, it's got this, it's got this. So, and I'm like,
Made by General Mills, so, right there.
I mean, it's like I was so proud of myself. I was like so proud. But I guess that,
Got to read more. More reading.
Apparently. So anyway, that's why it takes a half a day, basically.
I'm eating chicken nuggets now because that's all we have in the house.
Because we haven't gone grocery shopping. That's tomorrow. That'll take up the whole half a Sunday. So if you hear his obnoxious chewing, I can't. The way you chew is so annoying, it's not even funny. I don't understand.
Since when? You never complain about my
I've
chewing.
always told you that you chew like in this very annoying way. Listen to him. Chew. Chew regular. Why do I hear
That's normal.
every crunch and every like your teeth chomp down?
I'm OCD about it.
I'm not. It's so annoying.
I'll just get annoyed about it when I go to edit this, and then I'll hear myself. But it is what it is, If I wanted to eat these while we didn't do this, then our daughter would be up, and we'd never do this podcast.
Well,
That's how tight we are.
for those of you who care, I know that in the past podcasts, I most likely have spoken about, I think, my issues I'm having lately with like my body, right? And you've heard us complaining or Joe complaining about the food that I eat, all this stuff. I'm sure you've heard it. Anyway, I decided to go get a health coach, and so I did. And it's been great, and she's amazing.
Nutritionist, right?
She's a
health coach?
She's a health coach, and she's a nutritionist, and
Right.
she's this, and she's that. She's got like fucking 6 titles. But anyway,
Throw her name out there. Who we talking about here? Or we don't want to do that?
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't really know. So, but I think she's more also she's a licensed nutritionist, but I think also health coach, because I've had nutritionists before, but they didn't really check in with me as much as she does. Like she's like every single week, what's going on, da 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 da. I get emails like a whole page long of like 7 questions on there, answer the questions, blah 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 blah, like all of this stuff, and then feedback, which I really appreciate. But basically what she has me doing, so my thing with the health coach was really losing weight because I'm having body image stuff ever since I had my daughter. And I'm slowly getting to the place where I could like look at myself and be like, you had a baby, Some things are different, but you're still beautiful. I'm slowly getting there because it's still weird for me. So what she has me doing to lose weight is because that's what I'm focused on. And also my sugar addiction. I don't know if I ever mentioned that before, but I have a serious sugar addiction. All sugar. Doesn't matter. Sugar in any form. Give it to me in bread, give it to me in fruit, give it to me in sweet, give it to me any way. I'll take it. But the real sugar stuff that really gets me, that's like the high level heroin sugar, is sweets, is like cookies, brownies, cake, this. That's my heroin. So needless to say, I am eating or snacking or eating, whatever, 3 hours. So every 3 hours I'm eating, and my snacks or my food is like more like, so in the morning I'll start with like the breakfast, right? Which is like eggs or oatmeal and bananas or something. Then 3 hours later, I'll have my Orgain shake in my Christmas cup. Which is, those of you who haven't heard of Orgain, it's like a really great, just like plant-based protein powder that I make a shake with. And I put a banana in there. That fills me up. Then 3 hours later, I have an apple and peanut butter or rice cake and peanut butter or some kind of like a bean salad or grilled chicken salad, something. And then 3 hours after that, I have dinner. And then the cravings kick in after dinner. That's when it is. So after dinner is when I really have to like really reel myself in, because I can easily eat a whole bag of cookies, and I'm not exaggerating. Or I can eat 2 rice cakes. So that's my life now. Oh, and I'm walking every morning at 6 a.m.
Not every morning.
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm walking 2 days a week in the morning at 6 a.m., which I really fucking love.
Yeah, that's very good.
I'm on it, guys.
I'm very proud of you, actually. You're really doing it. As long as you're doing it for yourself.
Oh, yeah. This is not for you. I'm too into my body. Like, there's always been a part of me that's been, I guess, like self-absorbed or like a little just really into like how I look, which is sad to say, but it's just fucking true, you know? And as I got older,
Everybody's got a little bit of that.
Right? And as I got older, it shifted to like, obviously my internal means more than my external, but my external is still something that I'm like, I gotta, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, your thing is what I think you just weren't prioritizing your physical.
No, my thing is, we moved from sunny South Florida, okay? Left a beautiful place where everyone's like, I don't know, naked in the streets, and everyone has just great tans and great everything and wonderful stuff, and it's all superficial external out there. And then, so I was like, well, I got to keep up with the Joneses, you know? Like, everything was really just like, right? And then I freaking come to Rhode Island in, September or August, and only have a month of, like, good weather, and then my body was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, most people in the wintertime, nobody really gives a shit. They were all wearing sweatpants.
No one cares. No, like, no one cares. Right, like, no one cares. And it's so hard to care. It's so hard to care when you're, like, just surrounded by, not, I wouldn't say everyone, right? But just a lot of people that's like, no one gives a shit. And it's fucking cold, so why would you? I didn't give a shit. It's freezing.
Right.
You know, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about, right? Like, it's the mental part aspect of keeping yourself healthy. Like, it's all mental. Remember we talked about this the other day? It's all mental. It's got nothing to do with
so interesting.
It's pushing yourself.
Because I said that to my health coach that I have, and I said something along those lines, and she actually wrote back, and oh my God, you know this is going to drive me nuts. There's a fucking fly in here. It's right over our heads,
it'll get out of
and I'm going to, like, obsessively.
Please,
So,
Go on.
But the health coach actually responded back to me, and she was like, it is mental, but it's really also physical, like, which is true. I think it's just a combination of, like, mind and body, because your body, like, so for example, for people who have depression, how you hear it explained as, for people who don't have depression, just so you may, like, understand, is it's like there's a war. There's a huge disconnect, I'll say, between your mind and your body. So your mind is like, okay, you got to get up. You got to go. You got to get out the house. You got to do something. But your body is like, I fucking want to do anything. And so it's this legit, like, struggle. And I experienced that after I had my daughter, because I had postpartum. So now I'm like, whoa, like, it's so serious. So it's kind of like that, I feel like, but less intense. But it has that vibe to it.
Yeah, you're like,
where you're like,
talking to yourself all
right,
the time,
yeah.
Where, I mean, everybody kind of has it, but I think you're right. You know, it's like your environment and your surroundings. Although, like, I am like that, where I'm constantly pushing myself and I'm constantly telling you, like, I don't want to go to the gym right now, but I'll see you later because I'm talking to myself in my head right now, which means I have to go. I'm forcing myself to go, right? So, like, but I guess that didn't really do anything to you. You had to, like, reach out otherwise.
Do you know what's interesting, though? What just came in my head? I feel like there's also a big self-esteem component to this, because when I, like, self-worth, self-esteem, value, all of that, there's a big piece of that to it. Because even when I work with people, let's say, who have issues with self-esteem, and even when I look back on myself at a point in my life where I really wasn't so motivated, you know, I'm not sure if the value I had on myself, or if the worth I had on myself was really at, like, a good, like, healthy place. Like, it was there, but not really so much there. And I see that because I didn't really care about what I was doing, right? So I was just, like, you know, drinking, smoking cigarettes. Meanwhile, I know I have colitis, you know, like, so I wasn't supposed to be doing any of those things, right? But I was just out there. And yes, I do think a part of it's just, like, you know, you're just, like, living your young life and don't care. But I do think some of that was probably also the value that I really set on myself. And today, like, when I pushed myself, when I had that mental battle between eating the bag of cookies versus the rice cake, which was, like, a serious battle for me. When I had that battle, what went through my head was, I can't eat these fucking cookies, man. Because if I eat these fucking cookies, I'm going to be so irritated with myself. And it's going to be this whole thing, right? But when you don't really have, like, such a great value or high level of worth on yourself, you don't care about that. You don't care about letting yourself down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but obviously you care about letting yourself down, and that shit matters when you actually do. Like, so
Right.
I think there's a big part of that too.
I think it's you're the most important person, like, that you don't want to let down, right? Because nobody else really matters. I think you're in the process of transferring the energy, because I believe that you have. We talked about this before. You have, like, an addictive personality, right? But you managed to, like, curb it over the years. You know, you used to smoke cigarettes and whatever, like.
It came out in all these other ways. It just came out
but
through, like,
you always, at some point, you'd always, like, be like, I shouldn't be doing this, right? And then you kind of catch yourself, and then you get off for a little bit, and then you go back or whatever. But I think you're in the process of transitioning that energy to that addictive personality to healthier things. You know, like,
I'm trying.
This whole internal talk is part of that, where you know, I don't know how do I explain it, but the addictive personality is basically it's more of, like, an energy that's, you know, that's a joy. It's enjoyable to do whatever that is, eat sweets or smoke cigarettes or whatever it is, right? So instead of you seeing those outside external things as being, like, the joy. The joy now comes from within, of, like, actually putting, like, high priorities on yourself, health wise, or with whatever you're trying to accomplish, right? Like, that becomes addictive, like, to make sure that, like, you don't fuck yourself over or jump off the bandwagon or whatever, right? And that could be that energy transfer. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah, no, it does. But as you're talking, I'm like, I don't know if, and this is just, I'm just pertaining this to me. I don't know if the word addictive or obsessive can, like, they're very, like, because I do have an obsessive thought process, and I do like structure and routine. So it's like, once I get into something, I don't, like, I get into it, and then I can't go off of it. I'm very much like, okay, this is it, and this is what I'm doing, you know? So that, I feel like it's probably more that than it is anything else.
And then, because you did that before with, like, your workout thing that you were doing, right?
Crazy.
And you're on it, right? But as soon as this is going to be the test at moving forward into the future, right? there was going to be times like right now, it's summer out, you're going for walks or whatever, right? But then there's going to be winter. So what are you going to do to switch that up? And then if there's any lulls in the activity, you can go right back to where you were very easily, right? So you have to hold yourself accountable during those times and plan and know what the fuck you're going to do in those moments.
Right. Which again, I think is where that self-esteem piece also kind of comes in, right? Because I didn't really... Again, I think I was going through a huge transition, a huge funk when we moved. Also, I was happy about it, but I really kind of wasn't. And there was mixed feelings. And then the winter, there was like so much going on. So I think like now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, you know, like
You've done a whole year here. You know what a winter looks like.
Yeah, right. The career's great. I know what a winter looks like. I've already lived it. I love working with people out here. I love the people out here, actually. Just everyone, like, who I've met and everything. And so I feel comfortable out here. It's great. And now I'm like, okay. Back on track.
Now we can get to work a year later. Actually, I mean, that's a good point, though, because I think I have a lot more experience with that, of, like, moving from different states and, like, just keeping my priorities of health consistent.
Right.
I've done it so many times that I know that when we moved here, that there's going to be all kinds of excuses of why I can't stay on top of my shit because we got furniture to move or whatever the fuck it is. Right. And it's like you got to doubly be on top of your shit and force yourself to go when you feel like shit and don't really want to go. But the thing is, as you do that over and over and over again, it's faster. Like, say you didn't go to the gym for a couple weeks and you're like, all right, fuck you. You got to fucking get there. So then you go on a day at like 8 o'clock at night. You don't want to go. I mean, this happens to me on a weekly basis.
Going back to the moving thing, you've moved literally God knows how many freaking times from different states.
Yeah.
I've only moved within South Florida, you know, like West Palm to Fort Lauderdale to Miami.
So you still had the same friends. You didn't have to do all that.
Everything stayed the same, you know.
Yeah.
So that transition was a little bigger.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think so. Your nutritionist said it was like 50-50, like mental and physical.
She didn't give a percentage, but she was like, well, it's also really physical. You know, she was like, I mean, it's not just mental; it's definitely also physical.
I think
that goes back to that example that I gave with the whole. I think where your mind is saying one thing, your body's saying another, and there's this mental fight or this physical and mental fight between the mind and body, and it's like, do I want to go? Do I really need to go? You know, and it's this back and forth thing. Yeah,
I guess there has to be a balance. I mean, just like a few weeks ago, I hadn't done the sauna in like a year, just because of all the moving or whatever stupid excuses, right? Also, they shut it down because of Corona and all that other shit. So anyways, I started getting back into it, and I like went in there for 5 minutes. I felt fucking awesome. I sweated out, and then like the next day I was like, all right, I could do 10. So then I did 10, and then the next day I was like, all right, now I should be able to do 15, get back up to where I was 20 minutes, you know, and mentally, I pushed myself beyond what physically I was prepared for, and then I literally passed out in the changing room there.
Oh my God, that's right.
Remember that was like maybe a month ago.
You have a history of passing out there. Just saying.
But that's because I feel as though my mental is stronger or will push me harder than I can physically do sometimes, which is probably not that good.
Right, which is why there needs to be a balance between both.
Right. And especially as I get older too, like I really have to understand where I'm at physically, because mentally I'm like, I'll fucking go to the gym fucking every single day, all the time.
You're going to be like the old man that's pushing himself to like do all these things, and everyone's like, man, like chill, and you're like, I could do it, and then you like give yourself a heart attack.
Or I could be that guy that's inspiring, that everybody is like, oh, look at that guy. He's 80 years old and he's fucking running marathons or whatever, you know? It's I think it's a gradual thing that you just got to build up the tolerance and then the strength and the mental fortitude or whatever you want to call it.
The man, the myth, the Melton. You'll be Melton.
Right.
So crazy.
I mean, Melton is an inspiration.
It is so true, you guys. I just want everyone to really take a look at your wife, your husband, your partner, the person who you're with, who you've been with. I want you to take a look at them. And I want you to really think, are there any traits here that are familiar to me? Like, have I seen these traits before? Have I resisted some of these traits before? Have I loved these traits before? Have I hated these? Think about all that stuff, because chances are you have somehow managed to gravitate towards your mom or your dad or someone in your damn life. It happens. And every time, I can't. It's like so annoying. Like, it's really annoying. Milton. That's who you are. Milton's 70 years old. The guy's running. I don't remember the last marathon he did, but he runs.
He runs almost every day, though.
He's a fucking runner.
Yeah, but he doesn't go crazy. He does like a mile.
What are you talking about? We all, when Catherine spent the night here, okay, we were literally having a really good time, partying, the whole nine, right? We all pass out at 11, 12 o'clock, which is late for us, right? And Melton, who also was partying with us, is doing his whole fucking workout at 11, 12 o'clock at night because he's like, I have to do it before I go to bed because I only did it once.
Yeah, he had his
that's what he's doing.
That's right. That'll be me.
Catherine couldn't even go to sleep. She texted me and she was like, "Oh, here is your dad going, ooh, ooh." I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's that mental strength to push yourself to do things you don't really want to do. There's always good on the other side of that, It's like you'll always find out something about yourself on the other side of that. I don't know. It's not always fear of doing the activity. Sometimes it's just laziness or tiredness, or there's all kinds of excuses, right?
Always,
there's a zillion excuses of why you could easily not do what you know that you need to do.
For sure.
It's really just like committing to it and saying, this is what I'm going to do, whatever, even if it's like not every day. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm doing this at this time. And then just fucking do it. No matter what, just do it.
It's so hard waking up at 6 a.m. and getting out of bed.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me. Mm-hmm. Considering our daughter sits in her room until we get so we got it made. So transitioning for a second, just because it was on my mind. So, this like Brittany Griner thing, right? The WNBA chick.
Oh.
Right? The one who,
unfortunately... I don't really want to talk about this for too long, but...
No, not for too long, but I was just reading like a little article, and so I guess now what's happening is that they want to... So they're obviously using her, right? So they sentenced her to 9 years for having weed on her, right? And now what they're doing is they're like, oh, we'll let her go or something if you give us, I guess, a Russian person who we have locked up over here, who is this like really like, I don't know, this serious like arms dealer, the whole entire, right. And so now it's like this whole thing that's like probably like a trade going on. And I was I read it thinking about it going, oh my God, like I feel like that's the stuff that I always watch like in movies, or read in a book about like shit like that happening. But it happens. It's real life. They make trades. People are just pawns. And it's like, you know what? We're going to give you this for this.
Well, I mean, if the United States government does decide to do that trade, I would assume, but I would probably be wrong in assuming this, that the federal government would legalize marijuana after that, because they too
have locked
are putting people in jail for
people up
9
out
years.
here for 9 years.
probably more. Some people.
I was
depending
actually
on the
watching the show
situation.
not too long ago. And I want to be clear because because I feel like it does make some impact or contribution. But they sentenced, I forgot his name. He's this like celebrity or this like, reality star guy, whatever, that's in one of these shows. But he got sentenced, black male, I think it was like 11, 12 years for weed. Now, I don't know how much weed he got caught with, but still, like, it's weed.
Oh, Instagram's kicking us off again.
Just press OK. So done with Instagram.
Hold on.
Oh, you have a time limit.
Yeah, what
you
is
want
that?
to enter the time limit. Oh, we're back on.
Well, that's weird.
So yeah, like that's just like crazy to me. So you've done that out here, and you still insist on doing stupid shit like that. But you're gonna possibly trade and give them back their arms dealer for. I mean, the whole thing is weird. Like on one side, I feel really, really bad for her. I really do. That's really unfortunate.
Choices you make, I mean, we talked about this the other day too. If I was in
I was
Russia,
kind of
I would
like,
not be bringing weed over there because I wouldn't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I think that's my thing too. Like when I travel anywhere, especially if I'm traveling to another country,
Out of the country. Yeah.
do you know how many times I've looked in my bags and checked everything to make sure that I have nothing that can possibly fuck me up in some way, shape, or form? I'm like too crazy about that.
Yeah, just get your drugs when you get there.
Right. So then, guess what happened to me? I actually flew one time to Europe, to France, right? So I just so this is going to sound weird, but there's a story behind it. But anyway, I just so happened to have a bullet in my bag, and it was like a bullet, not to like a regular handgun. It was like a long one, like this long. That's because I used to date this guy that was like really into guns, and so we used to go to the gun range or whatever. And he has like the big, semi-automatic guns or whatever. So it was a bullet that went to one of those, and I had it in my bag. I didn't see it until I literally traveled to France and back to the United States and had like so much anxiety even back here. Like I was like, oh my God, imagine if like that came up in the damn something and they saw that. I feel like I'd get in trouble for that. I'm traveling to a different country. There's a big semi-automatic bullet in my bag.
Why you keep saying semi-automatic? Like a bullet? Just a bullet?
Whatever they're called. What are they called?
A bullet?
No, what are those guns called? Like the AR-15s.
An AR-15.
What's the category of gun that they are?
Okay, yeah, I guess semi-automatic. That's
what was called, right?
Yeah, the phrase was brought up by some stupid, government official or whatever to make it sound scarier. Like they wanted to like throw automatic in there with a non-automatic gun, so they figured that out where they put semi-automatic.
So it's kind of automatic?
No, all semi-automatic means is like one pull, one bullet. One pull, one bullet.
Isn't that like a handgun?
Yes. It's just a regular fucking gun.
But is a handgun also in the category of semi-automatic?
Yeah.
Okay, so they all are. I just want to be clear. Okay, I didn't know that.
The automatic part comes from, I guess, because you get a clip and it automatically loads every time you pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's kind of a stupid name for it. But anyways, so you got a bullet. I mean...
Anything
what are you going to do with the fucking bullet?
I don't know, but still, these are the things I think about when I travel. So, let alone, in my mind, even if I did have a medical marijuana card or whatever, to go to a different country with that.
So you went through all the customs and the TSA, all this other shit. So they didn't see a bullet in your bag.
Not once, but my fear,
good job, TSA. Good job. Good.
Right. Unless they saw it and they were just like, keep on going.
Whatever. I mean, I guess you could like take the gunpowder out and like start some sort of fire or something.
Or bomb.
I mean, no, can. It can only. I mean, I guess.
I can't make a bomb with that. If I was like a really highly.
I mean, how big was a bullet?
It was this long.
Oh, so it was like a. Oh, it was like a rifle.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it was this long.
Yeah.
And it had the tip. There was. It was long. Like the longer part was like gold, and then the tip part was like bronze or whatever, and it was like this long.
Yeah,
I could have easily had a bomb in there.
I wouldn't call it a bomb. Maybe like.
You mean to tell me
some
that
sort
there's no
of-
highly skilled chemist or something like that couldn't put a bomb in a bullet?
It
Or make
wouldn't
a
be
bomb out
that
of a bullet?
Big. I mean, it would be more like a fire or a
Still. Fire on an aircraft? Come on.
small explosion, maybe.
Still a big deal for flying.
Yeah, true. I know. That's what I'm saying. Good job, TSA.
Right. And then they caught her.
Missed that one.
How did she
Think of
get,
all the bullets that have been missed.
How did she get caught, by the way, is my thing.
I don't know.
understand.
I've never even read up on it. You're the one that read up on it.
Well, it's everywhere. I mean, jeez.
Whatever.
Well, what do you want to get into? I don't know.
We went to Nantucket for the first time. That was cool. That was a cool experience. I thought it was going to be...
Bougier?
I think so, yeah. It was more like... It was very similar to, like, I guess, a Block Island type of
Nantucket's
thing.
very bougie. A cup of coffee literally costs like fucking $12.
Expensive and bougie are different.
No. I think whenever I hear bougie, I hear expensive. There's no... You don't have
Well,
bougie
bougie-
without expensive. You could have people who pretend to be bougie, but I guess their stuff is not expensive. But whenever I hear bougie, I hear expensive.
Yeah. But you can, like, act bougie, but that costs nothing.
Right.
It could just be expensive, an expensive place. And luckily, Alyea's best friend is from out there, and her sister and all this other stuff. So, like, we...
Had a place to stay
Had a
since
place to
one
stay.
night at
Yeah.
a hotel in Nantucket is like $1,200 for a regular room. I mean, like, this is
Yeah.
why it's bougie to me. It's just so, like...
And we got the discount on that seafood buffet,
Oh my
which was
God.
fire.
$70 per person.
We got 50% off.
Thank God.
I wouldn't even have ate there if we didn't.
The buffet was out of control.
Yeah, it was good.
I
We
haven't
were
had a
there for
buffet
like
in so
3
long.
hours.
Have not had a buffet. When's the last time you've eaten at a buffet?
Yeah.
Vegas?
And then just kind of hung out there and just had multiple entrees of food. Yeah, it was
Food
pretty
after
good.
food.
And what was the
raw
name of that
bar,
place?
It was okay.
Was that
it's
at the Elephant?
It's a
White
restaurant
Elephant?
that is a part of or
The
in
White
the
Elephant.
White Elephant, which is one of the hotels in Nantucket.
Yeah.
And they have several different properties.
Yeah.
Beautiful hotel, the White Elephant. If you guys have never been to Nantucket and you want to travel and go visit,
And you got money?
and you have money, stay at the White Elephant. It's gorgeous.
Right. So that was cool. It was a nice little experience on the ferry and stuff, you know. No, that was cool. Shifting back over to other things, I guess. There was other things that we're going to talk about.
Did you come into this podcast extremely just unprepared?
As always.
Oh my gosh. I mean, usually I think of something like, okay, I'm going to touch on this or this or this, and I just roll with it.
I never think of anything. I have no
This
idea.
is why we're not going to be a big hit.
We already are. Well, what's going to be the reason why we're not a big hit is because of our consistency with these podcasts. You know, every like
You
other
know what's
week.
funny? I was just talking though to I have a patient who also has a podcast, and he came into the office the other day, and I was like, "So what'd you talk about on your podcast this past week?" And he was like, "I didn't do one. You know, I'm kind of just like getting like tired, so I'm just taking a break for like a month or so." And I was like, "Yes, that's exactly where I'm at."
This is the same thing that we were talking about before. The mental like battle of like just fucking doing it, because with a podcast, it's the commitment. I mean, we're almost at 50. Can we get to fucking 50? We could literally get to fucking, we're on 46. That's 4 more fucking podcasts. We could do that within the next couple of weeks. But because of consistency and commitment of time and blah, 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 it's probably going to take us a fucking month at least to get to there, you know? So unfortunately, that's what it is. But the consistency of pushing yourself to do anything, not just the physical things, but other things that you started. And
I started the podcast because of you.
right. And
Started- I
so
didn't
I
do
can't
this podcast-
force you to do it, but I mean,
start
like,
this podcast really for myself. We started it because you,
although you are the star of this
were
podcast.
obsessed with doing a podcast, and so I was like, you know what? I know he wants to do it. What am I doing? I'm taking care of a baby who sleeps all day at this point, you know? I had time.
Then.
Then.
So now.
I had time then, yeah. I was on maternity leave. I only worked, 1 day a week.
Yeah, but I think
My
this
life
is
was
a
great.
good thing to do, though, at least once a week. I mean, we don't have our phones for an hour. We're literally sitting here talking like how we would normally
We
talk
do this
about.
all the time.
No, we don't. We don't. It's like for
At nighttime, we
spots.
definitely do.
Sometimes, not every night.
Well, we had sex back to back for
Oh my
the
God.
first
All
time.
right.
First time in God knows how long. Oh my gosh.
Stop.
Are you jealous? Are you
Jealous of
not jealous? Are you shy?
No, this is not a sex podcast.
It's not, but it's a real truth podcast. And the truth is, when you're married with kids, it's hard. It's hard. You're tired. And so being
that's the thing,
intimate,
too.
being intimate in that way, I do think is a really important part of obviously a relationship, any kind of intimacy.
I guess
and the
that's
fact that we actually did have sex back to back, morning and night.
I think that is another like mental commitment to like just like do that all the time, you know? Because at first, when you first start dating somebody, it's like doesn't seem like some sort of like
A task.
You're like building.
It's not a task. You're just doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a task now either. It's like
But a task in a sense where like it kind of is because we know that we have to fit it in somewhere.
Yeah. I think when you get really boiled down to it, back to caveman days, like where I always like to take it, right? We've done what nature has put out there for us to do. We had the kid.
So now who cares about having sex?
I found the one that I feel that could hold my offspring and create the best human being I could ever create on earth. And yeah, we've done it. And maybe that's what happens with like married couples, right? Like it's like naturally you've done it. I don't know. This is just a theory, but like,
It's interesting. And I know that guys don't do this, but like we had sex back to back, and the first thing I did, I mean, the next day was I texted one of my really good friends, Kate, and told her about this amazing thing because it's like a big deal when you're a wife and a mom and you don't have time. But do guys do stuff like that? No. You're not hitting up Steve or any of your friends like, hey, man. Because
weird.
you don't want them to know.
No, because they're like, what would you say? Oh, I had sex with my wife. They'll be like, no shit.
Back to back.
Yeah, or it might make that. We don't mention it. Guys don't mention it, I think, because that might make them feel bad. Like we don't know what their situation is.
Got it. So
Maybe they haven't
wanna-
had sex in months, right?
So they don't want to like look like no.
Right.
Got it. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I think we all just sit around. We just don't think about any of that.
Or you do, and it's just an unspoken thing.
Well, there's like, obviously there's probably like some couples where you're like, they definitely haven't had sex in like 6 months or something, right? Like you could kind of spot them.
I don't know. People.
You don't think so?
I don't think people look at us and are like, they
I
have
think
sex
they think.
this
I
and
think
this.
they think people would think that we have sex all the time.
I
like
think
every
people
day.
think we have sex all the time,
Yeah,
and we definitely don't.
but it's not because we don't want to. It's because we're just like
No, it's definitely
like-
not because we
it's
don't
a
want
long
to. That sex the other night was
day.
amazing.
Yeah, but what we've realized is that it's always a good idea.
It's always a good idea.
Like even if one person's like tired and or just like laying there and whatever fucking time it is, it's like it's just like the gym is always a good idea too. Like everything that you're pushing yourself to do.
It is a good idea.
It's a good idea.
But we also were talking about, because I do recognize, well, like, I don't know, I guess, so like, for example, we don't have sex all the time, right? Scheduling, tired, we're just like, whatever. But there's something about that has still popped up in my head, and that's like, I just want to make sure that like, we're not losing though a connection, right?
Yeah.
Because that's important. And so that's why I decided to hit up, like like a sex therapist or someone who can really help just kind of get us going with connection more and intimacy so that we can really get back in that. Because I mean, I think that's important to not lose, like, because we can easily fall into like just like best friend status.
Yeah,
I don't want
like
to be your best friend.
Right.
Although you are, but I don't want to just be that.
Right. You just like, you can easily get detached. And I think that is what happens to a lot of couples after like, 10 years of marriage, 20 years, Yeah. That becomes the next. It's like, I think early on when people have kids, they kind of lose that. They don't see that as a priority because the kid is the priority, right?
Right.
When each parent has their own things that they need to keep going for their own personal, like, mental well-being of who they are and what they want to achieve in life, Well, I think, and then there's the relationship too, and that's a whole other
that's a whole
entity.
different thing. I think also, because I see this from time to time, is when there's a situation where you have a couple that's been together for, let's say, a long time or whatever, right? And maybe they're lacking that, like, just like that, like, intimacy piece, right? But they're fucking, like, best friends. I've seen this, like, so many times, like, but then I guess because I've seen it, in my mind, I'm also like, because I can see how that piece, the piece of, like, just being best friends, could also maybe prevent someone from making a decision of maybe it's time to walk out of this relationship, and it can prevent someone from doing that because they're just so like, well, this is my back, right? Like, you have a good time together, you have a good time together, you go out together, you have fun, you laugh together, you cry together, everything is so ha great. So it's like, why would you walk away?
Well, why would you walk away in that situation?
Well, because there's another piece missing. Maybe there's a whole other element that's really not connecting and not working. And so I guess this really boils down to the people involved then. Meaning, if you're okay, right? If both people, let's say, or however many people in the relationship are okay with living their lives
However
like
many
that.
people, all five of them.
Because that, people have different, but if they're okay with continuing to go through or on in a relationship, really just having that piece, right? Just that we're best friends, we love each other like that, and not really having so much of that sexual, physical intimacy piece, then I guess that's fine, right? Because that works for you.
As long as nobody's lying about it.
Right. But for some people, it really may not work for, so.
Because somebody might be like, oh yeah, I'm fine with this. This
right,
is cool,
and it's like,
but then they're really not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yay for us.
Everything's good.
For really, putting some effort.
It's been like super hot out though, and I'm really concerned about my grass. I thought that this was an important thing to bring up.
It is a concerning thing, actually.
It is.
I'm sure other people's lawns are looking like this too, so it's not just ours.
I mean, when you get the house with the lawn and stuff, you're like, okay, this is great, and then you don't realize how much bullshit is involved with keeping that shit green. It's like you gotta hire a whole fucking team, and that gets expensive. Then you think you can do it yourself, and then
you can't do it yourself.
Then you can't because you're like missing fucking times
to
for
do
fertilizer. There's all this other shit. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's been a main pain in my butt lately is looking at my fucking grass every day. But anyways, I don't know. I think there was other things that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't take notes.
You didn't take notes. I'm going through my psychedelic training still, which is great. So now actually what I'm... excuse me.
Thanks.
So what I'm doing now so for those of you who don't know, but I mentioned it before, I'm going through the process of at some point being certified for psychedelic assisted therapy. And so I've been like applying to some programs. These programs are really not easy to get into, by the way. And they're like pretty expensive. So it's not the easiest thing. But I just recently applied to one, and so fingers crossed, we'll see what happens with that. But since now that I'm waiting to kind of hopefully get into one of these programs, I've been doing lots of training. So I did this psychedelic assisted therapy training with Harvard, and then now I did this training with called like psychedelic psychotherapy integration therapy. Like it's basically the whole point of this training is the focus that psychedelics are a really big thing right now. It's getting bigger, and it's going to get even bigger as the time goes on. And it's something that people are doing regardless. So people are taking psilocybin regardless at home or whatever. People are taking MDMA regardless. People are doing that stuff. Been happening. And now some people are doing it honestly, like because they actually do want to work on their depression or something. So they're just microdosing on their own or whatever have you. So what this specific like theory is really focusing on the clinician being able to be, well-informed, educated and everything about psychedelics and also about psychedelic assisted therapy so that, like, if someone comes into my room and starts talking about psychedelics because they want to know about it, first of all, I want to have that information for them as much as I can, right? So I can at least assist in the best way possible. And if someone's like, hey, I'm microdosing, like I'm going to go back home and do it, obviously you do whatever you want, right? That's not really my say. But if that's happening, I would much rather at least have some information or as much information as possible to help people do it in the safest way possible, if that's the case, So I'm learning about like all of these things right now. I did one on MDMA, and then I did the psilocybin one, and now the next one is ayahuasca, which I'm really excited about.
I know you're kind of just getting into this, but do you have an opinion on microdosing and it being used as a therapeutic thing? Is it because I've heard that it's yes, at some level, it's like obviously taking the edge off and kind of making you a little bit more happy or whatever. But to really resolve things that you got going on, I heard that you really got to go all in and then have like the therapy. So have they talked anything about that stuff?
So microdosing hasn't been in any of the trainings that I've been to. It hasn't been like a focus of what we're talking about. I think what's really being talked about is just like the actual like therapy process of going into an office and getting ketamine or, psilocybin or whatever, ketamine because it's legal, and really being able to kind of assist therapeutically during that process. Microdosing has really only come up like, I would say probably a few times. And one of the times was just recently in my psilocybin training. And it was only brought up in like a case review, there was some guy that was microdosing, et cetera, and it was for depression. The outcome was great. The depression reduced, and he was depression free, we'll say, for a certain amount of time. But
yeah, I feel like microdosing is like taking Advil or like some other sort of maybe even like an antidepressant type of thing. It's like kind of mellowing out the symptoms of what you really got going deep down inside.
Well, no, because it's still, there's a difference. I feel like if I'm taking an antidepressant, right, whether it be like a Wellbutrin or whether it be maybe a Zoloft to help with the depression or something, anything. If I'm doing that, then a lot of these medications also have a tendency of not just like suppressing or whatever, like, taking away that feeling for a moment that you're going through, but also numbing you out sometimes to a point where you really can't even like emotionally like, connect. Whereas for microdosing, it doesn't do that. Like you're still, actually, if anything, you're probably able to connect even more so emotionally because you're taking a psychedelic that is meant to open up, the subconscious and bring you into this very psychedelic, mystical state.
But it doesn't bring you all the way there if you're microdosing.
No, you're not going to get into that
that's
state, but I
Mm.
think you're still, though, able to maybe process things on another level than you would with Wellbutrin.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be, if you're comparing the two.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather have someone microdose than take Wellbutrin,
Yeah.
if that's the case,
But you would say that, they're at the same level. Not saying like they do the same things, but it's still
I know
like
what
a
you're saying.
top
I know what you're saying,
level.
yeah.
You're not actually probably getting to the source of the issues, most likely, right?
But in most session, though, if someone's if someone's microdosing, right, and they come into a session that week,
They might be more open.
then that's when that's when you're getting into just like a lot of, I mean, I
right,
had
because then you're there to go deeper, right?
go deeper,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And again, I think it obviously depends on the dose. Like I had a couple patients who were just microdosing. I never told them to. They did it on their own, so they were just in session. And so, it was like, okay, well, but they'd be microdosing obviously throughout, time. So when I had session with them, they were currently microdosing. And I had some people where I didn't really see a difference in terms of much processing or anything like that, or their anxiety or anything. So this is why I think dosing is also a big thing. And this is why I think it's important for clinicians to really know more about this, because it's happening with or without, And so my thing is, if you're going to go microdose because you want to, help your depression or get better, then, you also need to know like the dose, and like how much to take. Otherwise it's like, what are you doing?
Dosing is important, and not. Well, I guess at some level, if you can kind of either synthesize it down or test the material. I think shrooms are similar to marijuana, where you can have more potent shrooms, because in my experience, I've had the same amount of shrooms at one time as another time, but maybe one of those times I was way more into the trip than the other time, they could be older too, or there's all these variabilities where they were stored, So yes, that the dosage is super important. It's just like weed, like you could get a strain. Well, weed has different, like way more variables, I think, than psychedelic mushrooms, because psychedelic mushrooms are one kind of mushroom. Whereas marijuana is, yes, it's all marijuana, but there's all kinds of
Different
phenotypes and strains and stuff like that, with a higher THC or lower THC. And like, if you don't know anything about weed and you smoke this one that has like 30% THC and you smoke this one that has 10, that's a totally different outcome.
Right.
So I don't think it's like that variable with the shrooms, but there are like potency levels for sure. And you should be aware of that if you're going to do that. And I wonder how they're doing it when they're doing these tests. They must be like
the research.
Yeah,
Like
I
when
mean,
the
how are
studies?
they administering it? Is it like they're actually eating it, or is it like broken down into like a pill, or is it like liquefied or something like that? Are they extracting?
So, okay, so for ketamine, I know that with ketamine, it's either IV, lozenges, nasal spray.
But ketamine is like a
It's already been.
it's
legal.
synthetic,
Right.
It's a synthetic.
It's an anesthetic. Yeah.
It was created,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like a naturally grown thing.
No,
like
yeah.
weed
So that
or
has lots of
shrooms.
stuff.
That's
The
what I'm saying.
mushrooms, when they're doing the studies, man, I have to go back and read one of the studies actually and see if they even actually put that in there. In terms of how they're administering it, there was a pill form. I saw a pill form in one of the slides or whatever that I saw. So there's that, and then there's like an actual. I think you can eat it in terms of that. You can orally just through the pill, and then I don't know if there's any other.
Yeah.
I have to look.
I mean, I would assume, I could be wrong, but I would assume that the pills are just like
It's
ground
a capsule.
down.
It's a capsule.
Yeah, it's probably just the shrooms ground down and then inserted into a capsule.
Right. It's a capsule.
I never really thought about this until now, but it's probably extremely important when doing therapy, though, to have
Oh,
that.
to have the right dosing. But when they were doing studies, even starting in the 1950s, right, and stuff like that, I mean, the studies were done, especially with psilocybin, through actually, a lot of the studies were done through just like eating. Like.
Well, I bet you
like
they
all
tested
shrooms.
the shrooms and the potency, though. I would
Right,
assume.
right,
that,
right.
You know, well, maybe not. I don't fucking know. But anyways,
So yeah, that's what I'm still going through. Fingers crossed on this program. It's literally like it's a post grad program, so it's very similar to, I believe, probably doing a semester of grad school, but probably less intense. So mentally, I'm trying to prepare myself for that, but I'm psyched if I get it. Fingers crossed.
yeah. Well, sure, I got more, but
This guy.
I'm
This
good.
guy, jeez. I mean, you were just like, what was the point of the podcast today? You were just like snoozy.
I thought
This
we
is
just
the
had a
le-
pretty good podcast here.
Really? I feel like this is the least amount of energy I've seen in you. I took a nap earlier for the first. I don't nap, so that was a big deal.
Well, I mean, there's other things we can get into. You're probably not interested in it, like how the economy is going to shit and like inflation is fucking ruining people's lives. But I've talked about that for years now, and
Yeah.
nobody gave a fuck. And
No, it's not that I don't give a fuck. It's just like, what else do you want to talk about? Like, what else do you want to say on it? Like, that's what's happening. Yes, you are correct.
right. Well, the definitions are being modified as well. Are you aware of this?
The what?
The definitions. So I don't know if you're aware that the Biden administration and everybody involved, including the Federal Reserve, are deeming that we are not in a recession right now. But the actual definition of a recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP. So
What's GDP?
growth. Hold on, GDP. I should know this, right? If
Considering
I'm
you
trying to
brought it up.
explain this, yeah. It's the gross domestic product. Something like that. Anyways, so there have been 2 negative quarters. And everybody in the world is like, okay, once again, I'm not an economist, or I'm not even in the stock market, so I don't really know.
Gross
Alls I know-
domestic product. Good, yeah.
Okay, so I got it. But even still, you're still like, what is that, right?
Right. I'm like, what's gross domestic product? No idea.
That's, you just read the definition
Oh, okay.
so I don't look like a fucking idiot.
Gross domestic product, it is often cited in news governments, central banks, and the business community. It has become widely used as a reference point for the health of national and global economies. I still don't know what the fuck this means. What in simple terms? Thank you. It's the most commonly used measure for the size of an economy. GDP can be compiled for a country, a region, such as Tuscany in Italy or Burgundy in France, or for several countries combined, as in the case of the European Union.
Okay. It's basically
I still don't know what that means. But
Anyways, so that's the definition of... go to the definition of recession. How about that in Google? Because I believe Google is still the same, but if you go to like Wikipedia, they've changed it. So definition of recession. Just type in that. Or economic recession.
a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters.
Right. And we're about to it's probably going to be, most likely going to be 3 quarters. And the government is basically just saying we're not in a recession, even though you just read the definition there, right?
Well, I mean,
So anyways, it seems as though they're just in denial of what's going on. Everybody that is listening to this podcast can tell that there is inflation on every single product that you buy, and we are clearly in a recession, which means that there's going to be layoffs and all this other stuff. So see what I'm saying? We can get into all this. I have a lot to talk about, but you don't understand any of this. So then it just goes nowhere. So and then
But that's why you have another podcast.
Right. We got to, speaking of, that has been slacking as well.
You can talk about that stuff on your other podcast, which is called
The Frequency Project, which is, no, that's not necessarily what it's about. It's more about the Healy and frequencies.
But I'm sure you could tie that stuff into
yeah,
the
you could
healing.
throw that in there. But yeah. No, I mean, I'm just concerned. I'm not really sure where things are going right now for the world.
When is the next? I mean, it's only been how long that Biden's been president?
It's only been a couple of years, I think.
So just 2 years?
But they're going to...
It felt like forever.
But they'll start this November, I guess, is when they'll kind of start.
All of the, like, craziness?
Yeah. Like maybe Trump will get back in the game.
Something's going to happen, you guys. It is going to get cray.
But I know everybody, like, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that hate on the Ron DeSantis. But, I mean, the guy is... I describe him as, like... I don't even want to describe him as, like, a Trump-like person. Because he's, like... He has all the I don't know, the logical parts of like Trump that like made sense with like the economy.
Things
and,
make
like,
sense more, although
but he doesn't have the idiotic.
He's not rash and like impulsive and all.
Yeah, he's not a narcissist and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like things he says, whether people agree with it or not, when I break it down and really try and like get it from his perspective, it makes sense. And then I'm like, oh, okay, not everyone can do that, which is, but when I do that, then it's hard for me to make sense sometimes of some of what Trump some of what
well, that's
said.
why it's so fun.
Some of what he said, not all of it, but some of it.
To like break his shit down, because we're like, where is this coming from? Is he saying this because he wants it to happen, or because he thinks it's like good for everybody?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing with Trump. That was my thing. I was always thinking like, is he doing this right now because if he does this, then it makes him look good? But does he really give a shit? I don't know.
But there was a lot of things that aligned with like things that would make him look good, but were also good for the country.
Right. And so that's what he would use.
But everybody would always look at the thing like, oh, he's only doing this because it's good for him. And maybe he was.
That's a narcissist thing, if that's the case.
But to me, in some of those cases, who gives a fuck? If it's good for everybody. Yeah, if it's
benefiting everybody else.
Right, if it's beneficial to everybody else. But then, he went off the charts too much, and I couldn't support him, but...
Man, this guy.
And then Biden's just like a fucking... I don't even know what's going on with that guy. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't think he knows what's going on. Like, I've really tried to give him a chance, because at first everybody was calling him like whatever, Slow Joe, and I'm like, come on, he's just like whatever. He's got to know what's going on and what he's doing. But there've been so many clips of him like reading the prompter and fucking just like
reading the whole
thing. Like reading the wrong shit on there or whatever, and like doing weird things.
I just can't.
I think he's just too old. That's all. I mean, it's nothing against the guy. Maybe
I think he's too. I think not just too old. I think there's more just
cognitively.
Just there's more medical stuff or something going on that maybe is just causing some of this stuff.
Which is concerning, I think, for a country that like we should all look at it and be like, dude, like when. Like your grandfather is like getting to that point where like, hey, we got to have that conversation. I don't think you can drive anymore. Like that's kind of where we are with Joe Biden, I feel.
He's almost 80,
but he's the fucking president. He's over 80.
He's over 80?
Look him up. I think he's like fucking, I think he's definitely over 80.
Shut the F. How old is Joe? Joe... 79. The guy's going to be 80 while he's still our president.
I could have sworn he was like 81 or something.
But he's going to be 80. How old is Trump?
He's up there too. But I think he's like
76.
76, yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's 82? Wait, are you serious?
Jesus Christ.
Why are all these people so old, except for Barack?
Because they've been...
Oh, Kamala Harris is 57.
Yeah, but they like have made a career out of being a politician, basically, you know?
82 years old? Wow.
Yeah, and her net worth is like fucking 100-fold from what she actually makes as a congresswoman. Did you know about Nancy Pelosi? Where her...
No, I have no idea.
So her husband like has made millions off of things that she has made laws on. So like her husband will actually invest money into something that he knows that is going to go up because of a law that she made.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been not admitted, but I mean, they've tracked it and shown that it's proven. So her net worth is, I don't know, look it up, but it's like millions, multi-millions, and she only makes like $200,000 a year.
Nancy Pelosi net worth. $135 million.
135 million. How do you make 135 million?
It says her monthly income is $1 million.
From what though? Not from being a congresswoman.
Her salary is $210,000.
Right. How do you make $1 million a month?
Right.
Making 200,000 a year. I want that.
Yeah.
How the fuck you do that, right?
Interesting.
I got this job. I only make 50 grand a year, but I'm a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire. Sketch.
Anyways, so yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be
that's
interesting.
what I get fired up about and all this other stuff. But
I get fired up about that stuff too. Not let me be clear. Not because I'm not going to say not because I don't care. It's just or not because I care. Not because I am really truly crazy about politics because I am absolutely not. I just think it's very it's like a watching the whole thing go down, to be quite honest, is like a straight up like reality show. I feel like there's different reality shows in the world, right, that I get really into. UFC, that was one reality show, but it's real life. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then they get to like beat each other up in this octagon. It's all real, right? That's a reality show for men / anyone. Sorry, that was a gender stereotypical thing. Then political stuff is a reality show for the world.
But you do realize that that's also
I know.
real,
It's
too.
also reality, which is what makes it even the craziest reality show ever, right? You can't be watching the political stuff go down or let's say a UFC thing because to me those two things are actually happening. Like the other reality shows where it's all like, oh, you got to say this and come here at 5:00 because this person's going to meet you there.
The difference is like in UFC, it's like those two guys meet and then there is a conflict and then it gets resolved in the ring, right?
It gets resolved at least. And
Right.
then one person walks out going, I told you, bitch.
It also, for the most part, doesn't affect like the whole country's potentiality
doesn't,
for different things, right?
UFC but in terms of just like the real component of it, you know? It's real shit.
Yeah.
It's real shit that's happening.
I think if you really understood the depths of like
Oh my
the
God, if I
layers
did,
of like politics and the
I'd be
corruption
blown
and
away
all this
even
other
more.
shit and all the things that have happened, all the things that governments have
I'd be
done.
blown away.
Like governments have killed the most people in all of human history. Did you know that?
I didn't, and I just, you know.
Yeah, see, because it's so big that most people can like they're just like with UFC you can focus in on like this guy
They don't
and
like
his
each other.
family
He's fighting.
and
He's fighting.
like you got two guys and like maybe their families.
Yeah.
That's all you really have to like focus in on, really.
Because they go after the families too, the wives, all that stuff.
Right.
It's the whole thing.
But like with politics, it's like it's so overwhelming for
So
people
big.
that they can't. They have to compartmentalize to actually understand things most of the time.
It's too much. Yeah, it's too much.
Or have spent like 10 to 20 years like myself of like piecing it all together and like seeing it accelerate or like build to a point where we're at now, which is like for the most part, unsustainable.
I will say also, so annoying. I forgot what I was going to say. Right when I said that, I had the thought, and then my phone popped up, like, and then it. Anyway, I don't know
got
what I was
like
gonna say.
it like dinged, and then you get that thing in your head. You're like, oh, I gotta look at my phone.
No, I saw the light come up, and I was like, oh, let me look. But then as I did that, it took me off of what I was going to say, and now it's gone.
They say like the phone is like cat treats, basically.
Like catnip?
No, like cat treat, like dog treats or cat treats. Basically, like you know how you like train a dog and you like they got those little clickers, right? And then every time he clicks it, you give him a treat. Click it, give him a treat. Click, give him a treat. It's the same thing with like your text messages and your Instagram, all the
like,
notifications and shit. It's like whenever you hear that sound, you train yourself to automatically be like, "Oh, where's my phone?" You get like stressed out if you can't find it.
So annoying. All right. Well, we have wrapped up episode 46. We're almost at 50.
Yep.
That
I mean,
is
I
what
have a
I'm-
goal.
I'm-
I think we should try to do 50, like within the
and
next
then
4
take
weeks.
a break.
There's no, see, that's that weak mentality. So what? You're gonna get to wherever your goal is for your nutrition and health, and
No,
then you're
I'm
gonna be
gonna
like,
keep going.
well, I'm there, so now I'll just take a break.
Joe,
No,
you
you're
do
not.
understand that in terms of podcasts and shows and stuff like that, there are seasons, like, so it's okay to have like we had season 1. This is season 2 that we're still on right now. We should be done with season 2. We started
Right.
season
We
2.
only did a season
It's
2
been-
is because we were moving and we didn't have
in
time to do.
season 2, it's literally been a year, just about almost. Like,
Maybe we should do a season every time we move. How about that?
Well, we're not moving for
Right. Exactly.
What's Brave?
Huh?
Brave.
Oh, Brave is the what's that called? It's like a safari or like a Explorer. Internet. Yeah, it's an internet browser.
Browser.
That's
Yeah,
what they
right,
call
right,
it. Yeah.
browser, right.
But it's Brave is actually an encrypted browser. So it's actually one of the guys, one of the founders of the Google. Oh no, not a Google. Chrome search and browser actually spun off and did his own thing because he didn't agree with how they were collecting data and stuff through Chrome and Google. And so now he created his own browser that does not do that. It's called Brave. It's great, actually.
Well, you were talking about that for a second.
Yeah, you checked out. And
Well,
you
no,
didn't care
Elon
about
Musk
what I'm
actually
saying.
jumped up in my head, which I feel like is some kind of connection to what you're saying. But Elon popped up, and I mean, Elon's on some stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on about Elon right now.
What's going on with Elon?
He's getting people pregnant. I mean, he dated Google's freaking wife, or the guy at Google. I mean, it's a whole thing. This guy's out
Johnny
there.
Depp's ex. Did you know about that one?
This guy, what is it with Elon? Is it like there's something about him?
He's
spreading his
Interesting guy.
his seed. He wants his seed. His dad can't stand him apparently.
He he believes that he's helping the population of the earth to create better human beings or something like that.
His dad doesn't really think he's like an amazing person.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, his dad was like talking about it. Like there was some like comment or quote or whatever that his dad said about him somewhere. I forgot where it was, but which is kind of sad and unfortunate. But clearly there's stuff going on there.
Yeah, he's got something where he he'd like to have like 1 million test tube babies of like his sperm
And just
from
have the
his
whole
sperm.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So episode 46 will be coming at you guys soon once it's edited, and we will talk to you soon.
Next week.
Next week.
If we don't, it's not my fault.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll be going to a birthday party, which I'm very excited about.
Yay.
And talk to you soon.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.